So people are doing what they can to help. Another group already doing its part, helping victims of both storms, is ShelterBox, an international disaster charity. They provide temporary shelter and other critical supplies to displaced families. Joining me now here in the studio is the president of this organization, Kerry Murray. Kerry, we have had you on many times before. We had you on for Harvey a couple of days ago. Let's talk about barreling through the Caribbean on its way to the United States. So many different places impacted, about to be impacted.
Right.
Where are you sending your people?
So ShelterBox is working really across the affected areas. So we've already pre-positioned aid. We're really sandwiched in strategic locations from Panama, where we have thousands of shelter kits pre-positioned, to Florida, where we have an office, pre-positioned aid already there, and then additional aid on the way from Texas, actually from a Harvey response to Florida to help with Irma. ShelterBox, really, this is what we do. And as the world has seen, disasters really don't take any day off, and either to ShelterBox. So we are working across these affected areas. As you know, we've responded to hurricanes, earthquakes in the Caribbean before. We've responded in the U.S., obviously, most recently as Harvey. And so we stand really ready to go in and pre-position and bring in the aid that's most needed.
And to that point about what is most needed, it will be different, right, between the Caribbean and the United States?
Yeah, so at Harvey, I was working at the largest evacuation center. It really surged to about 10,000 people. We were bringing in what's called a shelter in a shelter to provide privacy in a congregated setting. So to meet the urgent health needs, so providing little clinic stations, lactation stations for nursing mothers, to really places to just bring privacy back to people who are elderly families that are in some of these centers. Really what you see in the Caribbean is you see all these photos of roofs torn off homes. So we have a solution called a shelter kit that temporarily repairs and puts a roof back on a home. So we're going to look across the affected areas to see what aid is most appropriate. We have shelter kits ready. We have shelter in shelters. We have humanitarian relief shelters that could be used in outdoor settings. We have solar lights, blankets, children's school kits. And so we'll really look and deploy to these areas really what's most needed. We have a deployment team, the response team, already on the ground in these areas, and really they're going to go in, conduct assessments. Right now a lot of the airports are closed in the Caribbean, so if we need to move things in from Panama by a boat to the Caribbean, we'll do that. In Florida, we already have things in Central Florida ready to pre-position to some of those shelters popping up in Miami-Dade.
Well, Kerry, we thank you for coming in to share your preparations, and we thank you for all the work you're doing. All these affected areas need you right now and all that you provide. So thank you.
Thanks so much,
Good
Aisha.
luck.
Thank you.